So say you're having trouble feeling your glutes even when you're doing RDLs. Well, in physical therapy, we have a method to mechanically shut off your hip flexors. Many people are hip flexor dominant, and that prevents the glutes from firing. So when we put the ball in the right position, we can hold off the hip flexors, namely the psoas muscle, allowing for the glutes to fire.
So what we're doing with the ball, we're putting it right on the hip flexor region and just putting pressure through there. So what that does to the brain is it signals what we call mechanoreceptors to say, hey, we need to inhibit and shut down the overactive hip flexor tone. So when you do that, it just helps signal to the glutes to be able to kick on a little bit better. So hip flexors and glutes are two opposites. The hip flexors flex the hip, the glutes extend the hip. If the hip flexor is too turned on, the glutes can't really fire that well. So what we got to do by releasing our hip flexor with the ball I was showing you is going to turn the brakes on the hip flexors, which is going to allow the glutes to work better. So now after we've released and calmed down the hip flexors, we want to lengthen the hip flexors to get us out of this position to reverse the effects of sitting. So we can do that with the ATG split squat. One leg up here, dropping down, getting in good extension to lengthen the hip flexor. We can start with 3 to 5 sets of 5 reps going down. Start there and to progress to a loaded split squat with dumbbells, whatever you want to use. Going down, lengthening, and now we're getting strong through the range of motion, increasing really deep hip extension to lengthen the hip flexors. All right, so now what we want to do, we want to put ourselves in a functional pattern after we release and lengthen the hip flexors so the new mobility gains can stay. So what we're doing here is called a glute bridge. This is really going to activate the glutes, and we added a band around Chris's knees here so the lateral glutes can fire a lot. You know, you can start with 3 sets, 10 to 20 reps. By the time you get done with this, you should feel a pretty good burn, and then you can also eventually, transition over to single leg, progress it however you want. Add weight. When you get to the top, really try to squeeze the glutes to turn them things on. So try that little circuit and then retest your RDL to see if you feel your glutes activated. If not, just keep on doing it, keep on trying it. I promise they'll eventually kick on to where you can feel it more. Follow me for more PT-based tips.
So say you're having trouble feeling your glutes even when you're doing RDLs. Well, in physical therapy, we have a method to mechanically shut off your hip flexors. Many people are hip flexor dominant, and that prevents the glutes from firing. So when we put the ball in the right position, we can hold off